Here's the latest from Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia. Arrivals to Armenia topped 47,000 people today as people displaced from their homes in Nagorno-Karabakh after Azerbaijan strikes last week continue to flood into the country. Most of them are traveling in their own vehicles with all the belongings they can take strapped to the roofs of their cars. Those numbers suggest about half of Nagorno-Karabakh's population has fled the region in just the past 4 days. All new arrivals who do not have relatives with whom they can stay will be provided with temporary housing free of charge, according to the Armenian government. Another 237 seriously wounded people have so far been evacuated from Nagorno-Karabakh to Armenia for urgent medical treatment. More than half of them had been airlifted out of the region in rescue helicopters belonging to the Russian peacekeepers. The rest had been taken overland in ambulances and vehicles belonging to the International Committee of the Red Cross. However, Azerbaijan is not letting everyone who wants to leave Nagorno-Karabakh do so. Early this afternoon, Azerbaijani forces detained Ruben Vardanyan, the billionaire businessman and philanthropist who briefly served as Nagorno-Karabakh state minister after the 2020 war, as he tried to enter Armenia. It is believed to be Azerbaijan's first detention of a high-ranking Nagorno-Karabakh official, either current or former, since the mass exodus of Armenians from the region began over the weekend. The charges on which Vardanyan was detained were not immediately clear. As thousands of people continue streaming into the southern Armenian border town of Goris, the first stop on the road from Nagorno-Karabakh, the United States and a number of European countries have indicated they will step up their financial support for Armenia. So far this week, the European Union, France, Sweden, and the United States have said they will earmark a total of more than $25 million for the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia. After meeting with displaced people in Goris yesterday, USAID Chief Samantha Power stressed Washington's partnership with Yerevan, but repeatedly dodged questions from reporters on how the United States would respond to further military action in the region by Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan launched airstrikes across Nagorno-Karabakh last Tuesday, killing at least 200 people, wounding more than 400 others, and displacing tens of thousands of civilians from their homes. Those numbers are still likely to rise. In diplomatic news, Armen Grigoryan, the head of Armenia's Security Council, and Hikmet Hajiyev, the Azerbaijani president's chief foreign policy advisor, met in Brussels yesterday for talks mediated by the European Union. It was the first meeting of senior officials from Yerevan and Baku since Azerbaijan launched strikes across Nagorno-Karabakh. In a statement, the Office of European Council President Charles Michel said Grigoryan and Hajiyev exchanged views on the current situation on the ground and said the talks were in preparation for a possible meeting between the leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan early next month in Spain. Meanwhile, in Washington, a State Department spokesperson told reporters yesterday Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev had told Secretary of State Antony Blinken in a phone call earlier in the day that Baku will refrain from any further military action in the region. "We expect Aliyev to abide by that commitment," Matthew Miller told reporters. And in Paris, French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna said yesterday France will open a consulate in Armenia's strategically vital southernmost region of Syunik. The fact that Russia has abandoned Armenia and is complicit in Azerbaijan's military operations makes international diplomatic actions even more necessary, Colonna told French lawmakers. With the move, France has become the third country after Iran and Russia to establish or announce plans to establish a permanent diplomatic presence in Syunik, which many in Armenia fear may be Azerbaijan's next military target after Nagorno-Karabakh. A CivilNet inquiry to the French embassy in Yerevan regarding the timeframe for the opening of the consulate in Syunik was not immediately answered. And finally, CivilNet reporters Hayk Ghazaryan in Stepanakert and Hasmi Hovhannisyan in Yerevan spoke by Skype yesterday to review the latest developments in Nagorno-Karabakh. Stepanakert is in chaos, Hayk said. Many of the officials have left, and law enforcement agencies are not functioning. There are people who are not burying their dead relatives. Instead, they are trying to move the bodies to Armenia. If you speak Armenian, you can check out the full conversation up now on civilnet.am. Since 2020, we have been the only outside news organization with a field office in Stepanakert providing real-time on-the-ground coverage from Nagorno-Karabakh. Please follow us for the latest updates.